If you play Tetris for several hours and then step away from the screen, your brain may continue to play the game for you. You might look at a city skyline, a brick wall, or the shelves at a grocery store and see falling geometric shapes. Your mind is searching for ways to make those physical gaps fit together. This phenomenon suggests that our perception isn't an objective window into the world, but a subjective experience trained by our daily behavior. What we see is often a reflection of what we have practiced seeing. To see how deep this programming goes, we can look at a study from Harvard researcher Dr. Robert Stickgold. He monitored a group of participants who played Tetris for several hours before tracking their brain activity as they slept. The study included patients with amnesia. Because of damage to the hippocampus, these participants could not form new short-term memories and had no recollection of playing the game earlier that day. Yet, when they fell asleep, several of them reported dreaming of falling blocks. Even without a conscious memory to draw from, their brains were still physically carving new neural pathways. The repetition of the task forced the nervous system to adapt through a process independent of awareness. Stickgold termed this the cognitive afterimage. It serves as evidence that repetitive actions build the biological filter through which we process every subsequent experience. Every second, millions of sensory data points hit your nervous system. If you consciously processed everything around you, your brain would be immediately overwhelmed. This diagram shows the network handling that data, the reticular activating system, or RAS. It functions as a bouncer for your conscious mind, deciding which information reaches awareness based on your repeated behaviors, prioritizing the inputs you focus on most. Building these pathways is like forging a trail through deep snow. The first pass is difficult, but each time you take that route, the snow packs down, becoming the easiest way forward. Through neuroplasticity, whatever reality you focus on most becomes the reality your brain allows you to see. This biological feature can become a liability. Harvard psychologist Sean Achor identified the negative Tetris effect, where focusing on problems becomes a permanent setting. Professionals like tax accountants or lawyers are trained to spend their days scanning for errors, loopholes, and flaws. This constant focus on what is wrong creates a dominant neural trail. This error-finding algorithm eventually spills into their personal lives. Without realizing it, they scan their spouses, children, and environment specifically for mistakes and abnormalities. Because the RAS is programmed to prioritize flaws, the brain begins to filter out positive opportunities. It treats moments of success as irrelevant data, discarding them before the conscious mind registers them. Chronic pessimism is often a biological loop. When the mental filter is tuned to the frequency of failure, it becomes harder to perceive evidence of progress. You can manually reprogram the RAS by actively feeding the brain new inputs that break the existing loop. This mechanism is powerful enough that clinical researchers use 60 minutes of daily Tetris gameplay to help treat PTSD. The visual intensity of the game can override the neural pathways responsible for traumatic flashbacks. For the everyday negative Tetris effect, you can overwrite the error-finding algorithm with a protocol called the Positive Events Journal. The daily requirement involves a brief exercise, writing down 3 things you are grateful for. You can also document something that went well during your day and note the specific reason why it happened. This forces the brain to scan the last 24 hours exclusively for positive data. It creates a new trail in the snow, retraining your filter to view progress and opportunity as priorities. Research shows that maintaining this practice for 21 to 30 days triggers neuroplasticity. The RAS begins to auto-scan for success, spotting opportunities that were previously filtered out as background noise. External events will always be unpredictable, but by training the reticular activating system, you influence which of those events are allowed to define your focus. To begin retraining your filter, type the word SCAN in the comments, and subscribe for more strategies on the biology of the mind.